Hey!
This is JJ and Alex.
I made a name for myself, I told you I won't be denied.
As you wrap up your day, it's time to get your fix of the teams you live for and the sports you love. This is JJ and Alex, presented by G2G Bars on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome on in, everybody. It is JJ and Alex, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. Happy Friday to you. Thanks for being with us. Less than a month away from college football kicking off. That's all I have to report for you, JJ. Good
That's
night,
all
everybody.
we need to know. Have a good weekend, everyone.
And it's week 0, I know.
Look, I know everyone's checked out until then. I get it. But we're here.
Come on.
We're dialed in.
Let's get it going. We got lots going on
We
before.
got college football to go today. We got some stuff that's interesting.
I love it. And you know what?
Apparently the SEC and the Big Ten don't like each other, which I like.
It's not that they don't like each other. They see the importance that the other one has. They know that they exist in the same universe. They know that they have to exist together. They know that it's good for business that they both exist together, to be frank. But, look, pre-show, you and I were listening to a lot of 80s wrestling clips. Full disclosure, spoiler alert.
Rest in peace, Hulk.
And we didn't get to one of the clips that I think and then I think about it now, and I'm like, this is an apt comparison. The SEC is Hulkamania, and the Big Ten is Randy Savage. And what did he have? He had you had Hulkamania, and then you had whatever it was, the universe that he lived in, that he did, which was like
the Bizarro Hulk.
No. I'm just saying when they combined powers.
When he turned heel.
No. When they combined powers. That video you sent of me to me when Randy Savage, the Macho Man and the Hulk combined powers, that's when the SEC and the Big Ten get together. They kept referring it to something else. But either way, what I'm saying is Hulkamania is one, right? If you're a Hulk Hogan person.
Mega Powers.
The Mega Powers getting together.
That's tag team alliance.
Look, and you know what? And the Mega Powers is what they were called. All we do in college football is call it the Super Conference now, right? That's what we call it. Mega Powers and Super Conference, same thing. And the insanity of those guys getting up in front of the camera every day is Big 12 or a Hulkamania media day, getting up in front and just like, let me tell you something, brother. And that's what Greg Sankey did all day at SEC media days. And then Randy Savage is Tony Petiti, and he's like, let me tell you something. Oh, yeah. Like that. Yeah. That's what it was.
Greg Sankey's like, you ever seen a power conference before?
You have now. I'm about to bring you these 24-inch pythons, brother.
Yeah.
That's what.
Look at me and my big, giant 8-game schedule. Oh, yeah.
You turn him into the Kool-Aid man. Now, listen. What I'm saying is the comparisons are appropriate. Why? Because they need each other, right? You need to have somebody. You need to have those two who are the top of the top of the top.
Which one's evil and which one's good?
I don't know, but when the president weighs in, you've got yourself a news story, right? Everybody was wondering because it was talked about, the possibility of an executive order that President Trump would send down, and we're always like this, no, we're good over here. We don't need, I don't care what your political leanings are. I don't need any of it getting into football, okay? Now, it's hard not to, right? But I don't want any of it bleeding into football. I don't need an executive order that has to do with football. Just let them figure it out themselves. The problem is they haven't been able to figure it out themselves. Our program brought to you by G2G Bars, all natural ingredients, and no preservatives make the G2G Bar the perfect protein bar. Give it a shot today. Costco, Holiday Oil, Maverick, Associated Foods, and many other places in the refrigerated section. Let's give it a shot. And, of course, we kick off the hour, as always, with the cut, and we'll go right down this road and be as non-political as possible because I freaking hate. This is why I did this show, because I didn't want to do politics anymore on the radio. And yet here we are, college football with a signature next to the president's name, and how it's going to affect that, I don't know. We'll see. Let's jump in right here with the cut.
It's time for the biggest story of the day. This is what made the cut with JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Trajan Wealth brings you this portion of the show as well. TRAJAN Wealth.com. Trajan Wealth for all your trusted local needs in retirement. JJ, from what I'm understanding, the executive order is to basically take away anything that's a non-tied to endorsement, basically NIL money that just floats into the pocket of the athlete that doesn't have, like, for example, I guess the difference could be New Balance throwing $13 million at Cooper Flagg versus Cooper Flagg getting $13 million filtered to him from a donor. The difference there, I think what some of the powers that be here in this particular case see why they've been lobbying the president off to the side to see if he can make an executive order, is that they could eliminate the pay for play. I hate to break it to everybody. We are long past it. They are getting paid. They are playing. If you want to pretend like the two aren't related, then you can live in that fantasy world. But I don't think that this is necessarily going to, quote unquote, clean anything up, JJ.
It's a big, beautiful order. Nobody loves college sports as much as I do. But the truth here is this is not going to change anything.
Really?
Because the courts have already spoken. And remember, what was it, a couple weeks ago? The new commission that was set up, the
yes, Deloitte.
College Sports Commission.
Yeah, it's the College Sports Commission. You got it. Look at you.
Oh, hey, God, hey, big boy.
Yeah.
Hey. They tried to change the rules on NIL. This was their whole point, is they were trying to say that you have to prove that you're getting NIL from a company, like an endorsement, or you're doing work for somebody. You can't just take a collective money. The collectives obviously were outraged because there's a lot of collectives now, and they have some power. Well, this basically is doing the same thing as like you can't take money from collectives. Well, how are you going to stop it? Because the courts have already answered this question. So an executive order, fine, write your executive order, but there's no teeth to this. This is not going to change anything. It accomplishes absolutely nothing. But it is a big and beautiful order.
I will say, though, that one of the things that the College Sports Commission has to actually come up with is assigning value to things, market value to things. And we've already known how arbitrary that type of a system could be, because if New Balance says that Cooper Flagg's value is $13 million, who is it for us to say, or for Deloitte to say, nah, try again, give him a better number? At that point, they're mediating, right? They're a mediator. They're not telling you, they're not an actual, somebody babysitting this corner of the market and trying to help people understand what the value is, or fair market value. The fair market value is set by the company who's paying the money to that athlete, right? Isn't that the end of it?
Yeah.
It's worth, Cooper Flagg was worth what they paid him. And by the way, do you think that New Balance has gotten its money's worth off of Cooper Flagg?
Oh my gosh.
Do you think that Gatorade gets its money's worth off of Caitlin Clark? Now she's a pro athlete now, but guess what?
And State Farm?
She had started getting money from those. She got a little piece, a tail end of
it started in college
of all that
100%.
money. And you know what it did? It changed her life. But you know what it also did? These companies gave themselves a spokesperson, or at least an image that somebody could look at and go, "Oh yeah, she's with State Farm. Oh yeah, she's a Gatorade gal, right? Oh, look at this guy. He's got New Balance on." Now we all went, "Excuse me, $28 million to Cooper Flagg?" That's the part that sounds insane. But if you're a college athlete, or if you're the collegiate sports business at all, even adjacent to it, let's say you're an athletic director, what does it matter to you that the guy who you have playing exceptional level of basketball or football or whatever the sport is, and brings, more importantly, massive amounts of eyeballs, millions of people participating in your brand, who are you to say, "I don't like just paying these kids, I think they're pretty entitled"? We've heard that. But we've also seen, JJ, the shift of the attitude of the coaches, right? Who have had to at least say, yeah, it's the new way of doing things. And you know what? We want to be able to get these athletes exactly what they deserve. And it's like they're saying that, Kyle Whittingham, sometimes you look at him and you go, put the lie detector tests on, right? Let's see if he's telling the truth.
Mike Gundy was the one that was the hardest to come around.
I
and he was late on the game, and look where he's at.
I thought it was going away, man.
Oklahoma State sucks.
I know. And you know what? They went the other direction. They went the wrong direction. They got to get on board. I don't know how to split up the money to where you can say that, oh, this is pay for play and this is not. Because endorsements are paying for play too. The reason that athlete is good, or the reason that athlete is recognizable, is because they play the sport so dang well, right? And they get paid for performing.
And how can you prove that what money some company is giving a player isn't just them giving the money so they would come to the school, as opposed to an endorsement?
Right. Think about teams that throw money at these athletes and say, "Oh, this is an endorsement." But by the way, we're also an Adidas school, so thank you very much.
Is some
Adidas,
BYU player doing ads for Qualtrics?
And even if they were,
You know what I mean?
Sure.
That's a hypothetical.
whomever, whatever company,
Doesn't
right?
matter.
Here in the state of Utah, I mean, that's what exactly. When big donors are standing by, and you want to figure out a way to involve, if they're going to have to kind of launder the NIL money, so to speak,
Right.
by saying, yeah, they're endorsing my company. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's going to look a little bit. It's going to look a little
How
bit
do
weird.
you prove otherwise? And are you going to be able to investigate every instance of this?
Yeah.
But and that's why it was odd that they were just rejecting every NIL submission possible because it was from a collective. Like you don't know where the money's coming from a collective, and you can't prove otherwise. Ultimately, this executive order from President Trump is meaningless, and here's why. His order doesn't create any new laws, and until there's laws in place, there's nothing you can do about it. And do we really want laws in place here? Do you really want Congress to be working on this? Is this really something that needs Congress to be involved in?
I found the mole. I found the person inside on the inside.
Okay.
You know who it was?
Who?
Nick Saban.
Ah.
Why? Quote, I think President Trump's executive order takes a huge step in the right direction for the education model. Are we hearing this, everybody?
Oh, my gosh.
Are we hearing this? The education model from a guy who made $10 million a year at Alabama coaching the football team, not getting the SATs going. Oh, but our grade point average, I don't care. That's your headline right there. That's your headline. Nick Saban praises Trump's executive order cracking down on pay-to-play in sports. Thank heavens there's somebody like, look, if there's a power play between two people where somebody could say, I think you should do this. What do you think? Coach, what do you think? I think it'd be a step in the right direction. I'm going to sign an order. I'm going to do it. Right? I don't know exactly if that's how it went down.
Beautiful order.
The order requires the preservation and, where possible, the expansion of opportunities for scholarships and collegiate athlete competition in men's and women's non-revenue sports. I don't think that – I think Nick Saban, who has said, well, this is the new way of doing things – and let me ask you this, JJ. Does it, on its face, take away from the academic side of things the way things are set up right now? Does it take away from it? Will fewer athletes graduate from college? Here's the reality. We're seeing guys stay in college playing basketball, especially longer than we're ever going to see guys play in
those
recent
players
memory.
have to remain eligible.
And if they're going to remain eligible, they have to be in
if you have
class.
financial incentive to stay eligible, what's wrong with that?
If a guy stays at a school for 3 years.
How many of you parents out there paying your kids to get good grades?
Okay.
Think of it as NIL
the way that the
payments.
system was set up before in college basketball, at least, was you're the best on the planet. Well, just go to college for don't even go for a year. Go for 7 months.
Yeah, they would go for a semester
and
they
drop
wouldn't
out
worry
of
about their
college.
grades because
Right.
they would be gone.
Right. So which one's better? Now they had the fewest number in the NBA draft this year than they'd had in 25 years, right? Yeah. And and the reason it's not because they're like, I'm going to go back and get my education, coach. It's because the schools have a competitive model, and a lot of it has to deal with the endorsements that are there, the NIL collectives that are there. And why would you be able to look? We've already said why. It makes me nuts, JJ, because I'm trying to wrap my thoughts into one thing. Why would it be right? Why would it be right for them to say, yeah, don't pay those kids? You know why? Because that money is going to make it to where their education isn't worth much anymore. It takes away from the education model. I don't get it.
It doesn't.
The education model that we have in sports, what do we have? What education model do we have? Stop pretending, Nick Saban. Stop pretending, President Trump, like these things are going to change. Look, let these companies pay. And who are you to limit the pay that they're able to throw at these programs? That they're able to, by the way, when you divvy it up the way that you divvy it up, it becomes something totally different. It's something that the whole program benefits from, not just one single player. And we all know there's going to be players that are paid more than others.
Welcome to life.
It makes me nuts that now we're going to have a little bit of I don't know if it's going to be a speed bump of some sort. I know that people just try to find ways around these types of things, but I think that it's a step backward because we started to make such good progress, and we are at least wrapping our head around how this thing is supposed to work. And now this goes in a little bit of a different direction.
What? No, this is exciting. President Trump says he saved college sports with the stroke of a pen.
I love it.
Look, I mock that a little bit because it is a ridiculous statement to make. But ultimately, this is just a political move, and it's fine. Politicians do this all the time. There's nothing in this executive order that changes anything. And again, we all know like how Schoolhouse Rock. How is a bill made? How do you make laws? How do you make laws?
I go to Congress. It's a bicameral system.
You don't make laws with executive orders. You have to have actual substance. And I don't think that Congress is anywhere close to getting anything passed here that's going to change anything. And I don't think that you need to change anything. I don't think the government needs to get involved. I think this is all going to sort itself out. Ultimately, what college football specifically does need is some kind of structure where everything is even. And I think the revenue share is part of that because now everybody knows you can't go over that number, right? Steve Sarkisian talked about it.
Yep.
If we go over that $20 million number,
20.5,
we get fined $7 million.
$7 million.
Okay, so there's some structure there
Yep.
to penalize teams that go over it. Now, getting caught is another thing. We'll see how that is all managed and enforced, but at least there's some kind of structure there that you can go with. I think they do need a 9-game conference schedule requirement, and the SEC is going to have to come around on that. You've got to have a structure that everybody is playing by the same field in. There's things that are going to be able to keep this in check naturally. It's going to take some time. It's going to have to filter through. Don't get the government involved to try to figure it out. It's not going to help anything. It's not going to change anything. It's just going to make it worse.
I wonder, though, when you see what players are doing to make money now, and we've seen every different version of how these players have been and how these companies have gotten creative in trying to make sure that these kids will get paid. The reality is that the company, again, the companies or whoever it is that might show up and say, "Hey, I want to make a contribution for this kid. I want to be a part of this program." The argument that you make is that you're paying them for their name and their image and their likeness, right? You believe that person builds up that program that you're throwing money at, right? And you feel like it's the best representation of that school. You're able to do that and vote with that, kind of give your endorsement through your money and through that, through the collective. But the whole system is set up to where the entire school benefits from it, which is another thing that's crazy to me that you go, well, so does that money just dry up? Does NIL collective money just totally go away then? And if that's the case, you're going to see places laundering it through other things, right? I'm not saying a bag somewhere in the back of a trunk of a car. What I'm saying is that you're going to see all these fake endorsements coming up, or how are they going to do it? This guy over here has this company, and he's a big part of our social media plan.
Right.
Come on. There's no way. Just look, how much money do these collegiate athletes bring to the networks, to the schools? It's straight up, if you looked at it as a one-to-one deal, is a not fair proposition that you're asking. So you're asking them not to get pay for play, but you're asking to get paid while they play, right?
Yeah.
That's been the problem the whole time. The networks are getting rich off of this. Nick Saban got rich off of this.
Yes, he did.
Nick Saban wasn't getting paid primarily because he put kids through college. Stop it. That's not how this worked.
There's plenty of college coaches that put kids through college and got kids to get 3.5 GPAs, and they also got fired because they didn't win enough.
Right? Uh-huh. Oh, 100%. And if you think the donors, if they're being real about it, the athletic directors and the donors would mention the academic part, but they know that that's not the thing that puts butts in seats at school at these athletic events. They know it, and they have to put butts in seats in the athletic events. No one's looking and saying, "Hey, what was their cumulative GPA? I can't wait to catch them on ABC this weekend." That's not a thing. It really isn't.
Harvard, Yale, Saturday Night Football.
Right. And you know what?
On NBC.
And you know what that is? FCS level football. Smartest guys on the planet, bad football. In comparison to the best, right? I'm not saying that Harvard, don't at me with like the Harvard, Yale actually have really good football programs. I get it. I know they do.
Yeah, come watch a game, Alex.
But they are not in the SEC or the Big Ten.
No.
And they would never go, and they would never be a part of it. That's not what we're saying here, okay? Don't get confused with the idea that letting these guys get paid is terrible for the sport somehow. I don't get it. There's enough money to go around.
How many years have we seen NIL be a big part of college football?
Since 21? Yeah.
How great was last year?
Amazing.
We had our first 12-team college football playoff.
Okay.
It wasn't perfect. There was issues with it, but it was fun.
Let me ask you this. Where does A.J. DeBonsa going to BYU fall in the illegal category versus the legal category per this executive order? What's funny is after that deal was signed and the money kind of gets leaked out as how much money that this kid could be getting through the collective and all that, whatever, fine. And then the endorsements also sat on top of all that money, and then we all looked and went, oh, he doesn't even need the $3.5 million.
Right.
He's getting this 12.5 or whatever he's getting. He's getting a ton of money elsewhere because he's worth that.
You bring up A.J. DeBonsa. If NIL doesn't exist and if this current situation does not exist, he goes to North Carolina or Duke, right? There's no way he lands at
For
BYU.
sure.
And A.J. DeBonsa going to BYU and Ace Bailey going to Rutgers is good for college basketball. It's good for college football, too, that the talent is being spread out more. It's not just concentrated in 2 or 3 programs because the players think they got to go there to make their dreams come true. In college football, it was Alabama, Georgia, Clemson for a decade. You had to go to one of those 3 schools to have a chance to win a national championship. And that's where all the 5-star guys went. And what we find out, you can go somewhere else to be able to become a top pick. I mean, you don't have to be an Alabama guy. You can win a national championship if you go to Michigan. You can win a national championship if you go to Ohio State.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to see more teams break through here in the near future because the talent is being spread out more because of NIL, because players have opportunities at different schools. And what's happening to Alabama and Georgia and Clemson?
People are catching up.
They're still good programs.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but they're not the juggernauts. It's not like they walk into in a big stadium and nobody else has a chance against them. It's even the playing field a bit, which is good for college football because more teams have a chance. There's a little bit more parity in college football, and it's almost more like the NFL model where you have teams that can beat each other on any given day, and that's what you want to see because we don't want to know who's winning the game as soon as it starts.
Yeah.
We love the mystery.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see a lot of back and forth still on how this thing is going to get handled. I think you're going to see Deloitte rejecting the $600 plus deals left and right, and people are going to go, on what grounds?
And
companies are going to go, excuse me, like I decided how much it's worth for us to have this kid posting on his social media for our company, or him being the face of our company, or her being the putting her on our T-shirts and on our brand. Not you, because it's over a $600 deal. I think that they're going to have to figure out that name, image, and likeness is in the eye of the beholder, and that's the person who cuts the check.
And while I mocked Donald Trump's big, beautiful order having any impact, and it's not really going to have an immediate impact, what it does do is politically, it could get Congress to look at this closer. It could drive those conversations more so. So that could have an impact as well. You're right. This is all filtering its way through, and it's finding its way through, just like anything else does. It's going to take some time. But ultimately, you can't take away money from these players. The courts have spoken. So this idea that you can do that, stop. And why do you want to do that? Anybody who still thinks we need to prevent these players from receiving any money for their name, image, and likeness, why? Why do you want to see that? Why is that a thing with you? They're the ones going out there and performing and playing, sacrificing their bodies and their brains.
Yeah, look,
they deserve to be paid for that.
Here's the
not
deal.
Nick Saban, not the athletic department, not the school, the player.
Here's the deal, too. Athletic departments are selling tickets now. They're setting the prices. And the consumer is looking at it and going, okay, do I want to be a part of this? I can't tell you how many of these conversations over the past little while I've had with BYU fans right now. Basketball fans are like, I thought I paid to.
Wait a minute.
So I can't get in the lower bowl?
Why are these prices so high? It's like, well, you wanted to be in the Big 12, right?
That's exactly right.
You want guys like A.J. DeBonsa, right?
Yeah. And guess what? Did the tickets get sold? The answer is yes. The answer is the tickets are going to be sold. And when they're sold, that part of the business is taken care of. And then you look at it and you go, how can we pay the guys that make this thing run, the gals that make this thing run, that are the actual athletes that are getting paid for this? And limiting it to just a company endorsement is going to be a hard thing to try to enforce, I think. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We have more to go on the program. Of course, we're just getting started. It's a Friday edition. We hope you're doing great on a 25th of July. We'll be right back around the corner. More to go. JJ and Alex, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
Ladies and gentlemen, the biggest name.
You're locked into JJ and Alex. With the insight and analysis on the teams you can't live without. Presented by G2G Bars. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome back, everybody. JJ and Alex, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. Alex, Kirry, Jeremiah, Jensen. Thanks for being with us on the program today. Hey, I announced the parade. I did the PA announcing on one of the corners at the parade yesterday.
I'm sure you were fantastic.
I did have somebody come up to me and go, "You're actually informative," and I was like,
No one's ever told me that before.
"Well, I was like this, okay, actually informative." Like I thought I was going to show up and you were just going to make fart noises into the microphone. No, I was like, well, and I also want to go, I'm reading these things, all right? It's like I basically just read Wikipedia to you.
Hey, that's
right?
a good compliment, though.
It was nice. And I will say this.
In our business, we aim to entertain and inform.
You were actually
Both.
informative. I did not know what was going to happen.
Shocked
to
that you didn't suck.
The KSO float rolled by, the most represented station in our group, the KSL Sports Zone.
Of course.
Look, the weather team always representing well.
Alex was
KU
there.
Bank. Oh, yeah, and I embarrassed he and Christian Esparza, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
I said, don't you dare try to walk away here. Everybody, blow kisses at these young men in the back. Were you guys just attacked by the ladies at the end of the parade, Alex?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They're waiting for us at the finish line.
That's at the finish line. Oh, it was quite fun. So I brought
Nobody had a heat stroke, right?
No. And
Good weather.
it's it's hot, but we had the white T-shirts that were way better than like the dark, black polos that we've worn in the past. I don't know. It was your first parade experience. Did you love it or what?
No, it was a good time. It was a good time
Yeah,
being
it was
out
way
there
fun.
and waving and seeing all the people. It was fun, man.
Seeing all the people.
I will say that after I came over to dap you and Sean up, after walking
Yeah.
back, I accidentally stepped in horse crap. So that was probably the lowest point of my
He stepped in poop.
my parade
It's poop again.
experience.
Yeah. No, we. You know what's funny? You know what's funny about that too? So I brought my daughter and I brought Hank and Maeve with us, and I had never brought any of my kids to the Days of 47 parade. I'm like, hey, it's a mess downtown. It's early. I'll drive in. I'll do it. I'll come back. And I said, you know what? No, I'm gonna bring two of my kids. They hung out, and Maeve was blown away. She had the same reaction Alex did. She goes, these horses are just pooping right in the street. And she's a 4-year-old. She's like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? I go, hey, that's what the guys in the golf cart are supposed to be doing behind. They have a sanitized golf cart to scoop it up and throw it into the back of. So I guess they missed that piece. Thank you, Alex, for your contribution by stepping in and carrying it with you the rest of the way. Yeah, it was an awesome time. The 24th of July is always a fun time, and the Days of 47 parade was really cool. Our promotions team, phenomenal. Yes.
Yep. Angie Dennison.
Yes, and
On the TV
Steph
side
Avis
of things, the whole crew.
Steph Avis and Joey, who just do a phenomenal job over in the promotion
It takes
side.
an
of things.
army.
They make sure, and they do. They're up all morning. It's their Super Bowl. I was talking to Sean Croshaw, who was sitting with me today, and I was like, "That dude, this is an event, man. Like this is you guys' Super Bowl, and I'm glad that we were able to participate in some way. So, thanks for coming out to Second East and Second South and supporting the team. I told everybody that's God's corner right there. That's the chosen corner of announcing. That's what I do. I said, look, you can have other announcers, but a block away from here, you're not going to get as fun of a time. All right, we're going to party on this corner. All right, that's the deal. All right, let me see here, JJ. The top 10 swing games for every college football team in the top 25 rather for 2025. Now, here's the weird thing about this list. I feel very weird that ESPN still has BYU ranked in their preseason poll at number 10. Do we need to have a serious?
Don't think
A
they've
serious-
updated things
That's
since
what I'm
the
asking.
drama that took place this
Because the
summer.
write-up even has nothing mentioned about the fact that there's a quarterback situation, right? And that's the number one story is there's a quarterback situation. So I was shocked that I saw this list because I thought to myself, look, I'm not one to say, hey, because Jake Retzlaff is there, BYU falls off the planet. I think that you could have made that argument last year and say, just because Jake Retzlaff being the quarterback last year felt like it was going to be a moment where BYU fell off the planet. Instead, not being the quarterback now, that affects things. What's the reality before we even get into this swing game list? Where should BYU be in a preseason ranking for ESPN now that the Jake Retzlaff news has come down? And reminder, like I said, they're number 10 in the ESPN top 25.
There's too many teams that are good to have them ranked there any longer because there's so much uncertainty about what the team has at quarterback. Now, a critic would say, Jake really wasn't that good last year, and we went 11-2. Well, yeah, you're right. He had some up and down moments, but he also had some spectacular late game heroics that won him some games that they probably wouldn't have won. They won close games last year. That was the secret sauce. They figured out how to win close games. The defense was phenomenal at forcing turnovers, getting into the end zone, making plays, right? We all know why. The formula for BYU last year was that. Now, can BYU repeat that this year with one of the quarterbacks in the quarterback room? They may be, but we don't know. And so oftentimes when you do preseason polls, you can only count on things you do know. And I think that's why we got the preseason poll in the Big 12 so wrong last year, is because a lot of things happened. There was things we knew, but there was also things we didn't. And the things that we didn't know took over, and that's how it worked out. So that would be my answer, is I couldn't quite put them in the top 25. I would have both BYU and Utah knocking on the door, but I can't put them there yet because there's just too much unknowns about the quarterback position.
So it would fall a preseason number 10 ranking for BYU. You take them all the way out of the top 25 now.
Yes.
Jake Retzlaff was the difference for you to go 15-plus
experience
slots out
at quarterback is what's missing. We haven't seen any of these guys play Power 4 football.
Okay. I'll just remind you, too, of some of the top 25, of ESPN's top 25, preseason top 25. It's quite wild, too, because it's a little bit out there. Penn State is number 1. Clemson is number 2, which Clemson is a real darling for some people, and it's a dog for other people.
And both have returning senior quarterbacks.
Okay. Longhorns at number 3.
Yeah.
Quarterback situation pretty locked up there.
Right.
Though we don't have a lot proven, but it goes for saying
what we've seen is impressive.
Now, Gunnar Stockton, who's the 43-year-old who plays quarterback for the Georgia Bulldogs, and got all that attention because he has the same hairline that I do, and he was at
he has NIL for Rogaine.
Poor kid was 20 years old and he was taking strays from JJ here in the market, going, "What's going on with this kid?" No, but everybody was like, This kid already is fully vested in his 401k. That was one of the jokes, right?
Yep.
Ohio State Buckeye. But again, Gunnar Stockton hasn't proven much, but they're the number 4 Georgia Bulldogs.
Why? Georgia's loaded.
Because it's Georgia and they're loaded. But isn't BYU loaded compared to other teams that we've seen of them in the past?
Comparing them to Georgia?
No. I'm saying compared to the BYUs that we've seen in the past, and even the BYU that you saw on the field last year at the end of the year.
BYU's defense loaded. Keanu Tanavas in the front, absolutely. Their defense is loaded.
They may be better.
Questions about the offensive line. We know that Chase Roberts is good. We know L.J. Martin is good. It's just the quarterback and the offensive line have me going, I don't know. I'm not saying that they're not good. They could go to 11-2 again. That's not what I'm saying. I just can't put them at 10.
Right. Yep.
10? 10 is high.
The Ohio State Buckeyes, number 5. Number 6 is LSU. Again, Cade Klubnik and Cade Klubnik.
He's back.
Nussmeier. He's coming back. Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish, are 7th, and they have a definite question mark at quarterback because.
But they were in the national championship
keep moving around.
last year, right?
The Oregon Ducks, they kind of have a plug and play quarterback system. I watched the quarterback at. I don't even know what this dude's name is.
Didn't he transfer from UCLA?
And he's the number, and he's wearing the
Dante Moore,
and he's wearing the number 10. And at spring practice, he was like blowing up people. Like he was absolutely the best athlete out there. So maybe they figure it out. Maybe guys go and play. Was that the same kid who came here and played in that 14-7 game at Utah?
Pretty sure. Yes.
He was a hyped 5-star kid.
Freshman. Wasn't ready.
Thrust into a problem situation, right? Alabama number 9, number 10 BYU, like we said. Illinois 11, Arizona State 12. South Carolina 13, Iowa State 14, SMU 15.
All those teams have returning quarterbacks that are studs.
Texas Tech Raiders are 16th, and they also have a quarterback coming back. Indiana Hoosiers 17, Kansas State 18, Florida Gators 19.
Returning quarterback. I can't put BYU ahead of any of these teams yet.
I feel the same way. No, I just think that these, but I think that these lists are funny too because we will also throw teams to the top of the list.
I thought 10 was a little overhyped to begin with.
Yeah.
But they earned it because they were 11-2 last year, and they're bringing back their quarterback and a lot of other guys.
Ole Miss or Texas A&M 23. See, that's one where I go, why? Okay. Just like every year.
That's fair.
Okay, fine. Ole Miss, not a quarterback situation that people are familiar with, and they have to rebuild and retool. Oklahoma Sooners, don't know what their situation is at quarterback, and I frankly don't care. I think their name gets on lists like this because they're the Oklahoma Sooners.
Probably don't belong there.
So there you go. But the swing game that they gave to BYU, and again, the write-up on this makes me feel like that they did not take into account the changeover at quarterback. It says the Big 12 opener against Colorado on the 27th is one to circle, but the next week, home against West Virginia on a short week on a Friday night, really could swing momentum one way or the other. The Cougars, if they start 4-0, they play Portland State, Stanford, East Carolina in their non-conference. A win there would move to a 2-0 in conference play would be huge, especially since they'll be breaking in a new quarterback, and that early season experience will matter. And if they lose to Colorado, they will need a win over the Mountaineers to avoid an 0-2 start. I get what Kyle Bonagura is saying there, but the West Virginia game being the swing game for BYU,
I disagree.
It's hard to say. Now, again,
if you can't beat Colorado and West Virginia to start the season, you're not very good.
But it's not just saying that it's an important game at the beginning of the conference play.
Home against West Virginia? Why?
And on a Friday night.
Why is that a swing game?
I don't know.
It's a game. You know what the swing game is? Utah the 18th. You want to know why the swing game is Utah?
2 weeks after this game, by the way.
If you can't start the season off by beating Portland State, Stanford, and East Carolina in the non-conference, and then win at Colorado, who's going to be down this year. We already talked about that with Jake Shapiro. Even he's not sold on him. West Virginia's not that good yet. Rich Rod's not going to figure out that quick. At Arizona could be tough with Noah Fafita at quarterback, but I'm not sold on them either. Your swing game is Utah. Why? A, because I think Utah's going to be pretty good. B, it's a rivalry game. And see, if they win that game, they're set up to win the Big 12 because guess you get in the next few weeks. Week after that, Iowa State. Then you get a bye week. Then you got Texas Tech. Then you got TCU. Okay, that's why Utah is the swing game because you play 4 juggernauts in a row. Utah, Iowa State, Texas Tech, TCU. Those are the games. That's the heart of your schedule. And if you don't beat Utah, how are those next 3 games going to go for you? That's why it's a swing game.
Yep. Okay.
I can give you Utah's swing game. I can give you Utah State swing game.
Let me hear Utah's swing game.
Texas Tech, right out of the gate. Are you a serious contender? Well, guess what? You get to play the team that we're all picking to win.
You're saying for their first
right out of the gate. So if you beat Texas Tech, we all assume, right? They're going to beat UCLA, Cal Poly, and Wyoming. I don't think UCLA is very good. I just don't. I know they got Nico, whoopity-doo.
Right.
Okay, you got a lot of other problems on that team. We talked to their guy down there. They think they're going to be better offensively, but not week 1. That's never the case with a new offensive coordinator week 1. They beat Cal Poly, they beat Wyoming, but Texas Tech, many picked them to win it, including us, the Big 12. If you can beat Texas Tech at home, next up is West Virginia, and then you got Arizona State. Texas Tech sets the stage for everything else. That's your swing game. Because if you give Texas Tech an L in September, you're setting a statement to the rest of the conference. We're back. We're for real. And then you got a lot of momentum going into that Arizona State game on October 11th, and you have a bye week before that.
Yep.
That's not the swing. The swing is Texas Tech.
All right, we've got an important would you rather around the corner. Okay, it's sports adjacent.
It sounds like in the 80s when there was a sitcom, but I was like, on a special growing pains.
On a very special Perfect Strangers. Balky?
Balky has AIDS.
No, it's like Balky has it. What was that? What was the fake island he was from? Jeez, you went dark.
Balky Bartokomous. He was from the island of Mypos.
Mypos! Fake Greek island. Ah, yes. All the goat jokes and sheep jokes you could handle for Balky Bartokomous.
Oh, my gosh.
And Cousin Laddie, look at the eyes on our producer, Alex. He's like, you guys are speaking
over.
a different language to me.
What are you talking about?
The days
No,
we're not talking about
he was like,
Borat.
AIDS? What's AIDS?
Oh,
You missed the 80s,
come
man.
on. Perfect
AIDS was a big
Strangers. How
deal.
dare you? All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. But no, none of those things. Still an important pop culture list coming up on Would
No
You Rather.
AIDS coming up.
Stay with us. 97.5 EKSL Sports Zone.
Listen, everybody. Real life hypotheticals to get your brain churning. As JJ and Alex ask, would you rather?
All right, everybody, welcome back. JJ and Alex, 97.5 EKSL Sports Zone. It's a Friday. We've got some things to announce here for you, especially, don't miss, the fact that it's a Win Ticket Wednesday on the KSL Sports Zone all day long. JJ and Alex, DJ and PK, Hanson Scotty, Jake and Ben, everybody's giving away tickets on Wednesday. That's what we do. This Wednesday, Eric Church and the Free the Machine Tour coming October 23rd to Delta Center. Find those tickets on SeatGeek, or you can listen all day long to the KSL Sports Zone this coming Wednesday for your chance to win. All right. JJ, what do I have here for you? Oh, boy, I've got something. Hey, this is one of those moments where my sons and I are like we actually are on the same page about something. They got into some Adam Sandler movies over the summer, and with Happy Gilmore being released today on Netflix, I have in front of me the highest rated ones on Rotten Tomatoes, but that makes no difference. Okay, these are feelings of the heart, JJ. Sandler movies are the feelings of the heart. So I've got for you the best Adam Sandler movies, and you're gonna go with me, and we're gonna go along this thing on a Would You Rather. All right,
Let's go.
let me see here. It's so funny, because I'm not Punch Drunk Love is not. I'm not putting it on the list. Okay.
Okay.
It's a good movie.
There's no chance to win.
Uncut Gems. Everyone looks at it like it's the best. Like from a cinema standpoint, it's the best. But I get it. We can't go that direction all the way. And I just don't think. So I don't want to say that those things are out. But they have their own place in there.
He tried to show his serious acting chops multiple times.
Yes.
Let's just ignore that ever happened.
I just want to know which ones, basically, that you and I could jam on.
His
all right?
funny ones. Which was the best?
The best movies from Adam Sandler. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Would you rather watch Big Daddy or The Wedding Singer?
Wedding Singer by a mile.
Wedding Singer or Mr. Deeds?
Wedding Singer.
Wedding Singer or Billy Madison? Oh, I got his heart.
We've reached the Sophie's Choice portion.
Oh, no.
This is hard for me.
It is.
Hey, you. Remember me? I bet you thought that I was dead.
Stop looking at me, Swan.
What am I going to do here? Because I love The Wedding Singer.
I know,
the 80s nostalgia.
I know.
Well written, great storyline. Oh, I want to grow old with you. I'm going to go with Wedding Singer, but it's hard.
Oh, wow.
I know it's an upset.
Okay. Wedding Singer.
25-year-old me would have gone Billy Madison all the way, but
I
I'm
know.
going to go Wedding Singer.
Or I was going to say, or you don't mess with the Zohan. No. Wedding Singer or 50 First Dates.
Wedding Singer.
The thing about 50 First Dates is
same actors. I
You
know.
go back, though, it's a good watch.
It is.
I think when you watch it while you're watching it with like my wife likes that movie. It's
50 First Dates is a good movie.
Okay.
Wedding Singer is a great
Billy
movie.
Madison to The Longest Yard.
Oh, it's Wedding Singer over Longest Yard. And I know I'm picking Wedding Singer over sports movie. I get it.
Okay. Happy Gilmore or Billy Madison.
Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore or Anger Management.
Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore or Airheads. Airheads is underrated, by the way.
It is underrated.
I mean,
Handsome Dan.
Only because
Handsome Dan.
I will tell you, only because Steve Fraser or Brendan Fraser does a phenomenal job. A phenomenal job.
Just the whole Harry Shearer is Handsome Dan is great. I'm still going with Happy Gilmore.
I agree. Happy Gilmore, top of the list. I agree wholeheartedly.
My top three: Happy Gilmore, Wedding Singer, Billy Madison, and that's controversial because I think a lot of people like Billy Madison's the funniest of them all.
No, and you know what's funny is like you go back and look at him and you go, "Oh, this is terrible acting." But so is Tommy Boy in a lot of places too.
Well,
But
sure.
that's
It's not the point.
Okay, how about
Did it
that?
make you laugh?
Happy Gilmore or Tommy Boy. Now those aren't Adam Sandler, obviously, but those are two
Wow.
SNL, like our wheelhouse
Wow.
SNL casts.
Chubbs puts it over the top for me. It's Happy Gilmore.
Really?
It's close.
Tommy Boy by a mile in my world.
Really?
Yes.
Over
Yes.
Happy Gilmore.
Because
You're a Tommy. You're
Adam
a
Sa-
Tommy Boy guy.
Listen, because Adam. Yes, I'm a
think
Farley guy, but I'm also
for Christmas, I'm going to get you a Callahan Auto T-shirt.
I would love it. I would love it. At Zelensky Auto. You give me that one, the counterculture one. All right, we'll take a break here. But anyway, I'm excited. So like on the watch list this weekend.
I'd love to get a review from any of you.
Oh.
Is Happy Gilmore 2 worth the time?
Okay, I will say this.
I haven't done it yet. I'm
There
thinking about it
apparently
tonight.
is a scene with Scotty Scheffler in handcuffs.
Oh, I thought you were going to say somebody farted.
No.
We all saw that video this
Yes.
week from the Open Championship, right?
And here comes Scotty Scheffler. Aww. My favorite is
little wind helped to
my
get on the
favorite is
green
that
there.
these two like proper English guys are like, well, what's so funny, Martin? And it's like, I don't know, but I think you got a little extra help on that one. Back to you. All right, we'll take a break. No, I want to
I
see.
wish we had the audio. Now we just sound like a bunch
Here's
of
what's funny. Here's what's
immature
funny.
idiots.
Happy Gilmore, if it's good, or Happy Gilmore 2, if it's good or not, I will watch it. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it all the way through. I don't care. There's just nostalgia there. Is what's her name in it? Julie
She is.
Brown? Bowen?
Yeah.
What's her name?
Yep.
Either way. Then it's good. I'll tell you it's good right now. All right. We'll take a break. We've got more. When we return, new hour, new stuff to talk about, new cut. You're going to get all of it. So stay here, 97.5 VKSL Sports Zone.